All right, let's get into it. We're looking at a pretty intense astrological forecast for Aquarius, specifically for February 2026. And look, according to the source material we're breaking down, this is not your average month. It's being flagged as a time packed with some seriously big and maybe even disruptive cosmic events.
Wow, okay. Let's just dive right in, shall we? The source material we're looking at really doesn't beat around the bush. It opens with this incredibly stark warning. I mean, there's no sugarcoating it. This immediately sets a very serious tone and basically says, hey, if you're an Aquarius, you need to pay attention. February 2026 is definitely not a month to just, coast through. So you're probably asking, what's all the fuss about? Well, this timeline right here lays it all out. These are the critical dates to watch. First, you've got a really powerful full moon on February 1st. Then, boom, on February 17th, an inauspicious solar eclipse. And here's the real kicker. That eclipse happens to fall right around the start of Ramadan. The source is super clear on this. It's the combination of all these powerful events happening so close together that makes the whole month so charged. So, to help us navigate all this, here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll dig into these cosmic dangers. Then, we'll get specific with the February forecast for Aquarius. After that, we'll walk through 2 rituals and a powerful prayer for protection. And finally, we'll wrap it all up by looking at your path through February. Sound good? Let's go. All right, first up, a month of cosmic dangers. Let's really get into the nitty-gritty of what makes these 2 celestial events such a big deal, at least according to the source material. And what's really fascinating is how this source separates these 2 threats. They're not the same thing at all. Think of the full moon on February 1st as a sniper rifle. It's a time when very specific, targeted negative energy, things like black magic or the evil eye, are believed to be way more powerful. But the solar eclipse on the 17th, that's more like a blanket of bad luck. It's described as a more general kind of inauspicious event that can just block your stars, And its power is supposedly amplified because of its timing. Okay, so we've got these big, powerful cosmic events hanging in the air. But what does that actually mean for an Aquarius on a day-to-day basis? How could this impact your life? Well, let's get into the specific forecast for February. This chart gives us a great bird's eye view, and you can see right away it's a real mixed bag. The biggest chunk, a full 40%, is in the caution-advised zone, which covers things like legal cases. But it's not all bad news. There's a solid 35% that looks positive, especially if you're thinking about starting a new business. And the rest, about a quarter, is kind of neutral territory. And here's where we get into the specifics. So for your career, it's complicated. If you're in the private sector, you might actually get a bonus. But if you're looking for a job, the advice is to hold off until later in the month. Now for business, new ventures look fantastic. The key is to start early. Financially, things are looking pretty good. You might even get some money back that people owe you. Relationships seem mostly stable, maybe some normal little arguments. But look at legal matters. The source could not be more clear on this. If you can avoid court dates, absolutely do it. Okay, so we've laid out all the challenges and potential roadblocks. But don't worry, the source doesn't just leave you hanging. It offers solutions. Let's dive into the first one. A specific ritual designed for protection during that powerful full moon on February 1st. So what do you need for this first ritual? It's actually pretty simple. You're going to need a quarter kilogram, that's about 1 peo, of chicken meat, all cut up into small pieces. And you'll need a small black cloth. That's it. Now, the procedure here is very, very precise, so you've got to follow the steps. It all starts on the night of January 31st. First, you wrap the meat in that black cloth and pop it in the fridge. Then, at exactly 11 p.m., you take it and place it outside, maybe in a courtyard, somewhere up high so cats can't get to it. The next morning, February 1st, before morning prayers, this is the most important part. You take that bundle and circle it over the heads of everyone in your family 7 times. After that, you go to your front door, stand right there, and just throw the whole thing, cloth and all, out into the street. And the very last step is to wash the hand you used to throw it, but do it outside your house before you come back in. All right, so that takes care of the first big threat. But what about the second one, that solar eclipse? Well, the source provides another ritual, this one specifically for protection on February 17th. Now listen up, because this is probably the most important part to get right. The 2 rituals are very similar, but there is one huge difference in how you finish. For the full moon ritual, remember, you throw the bundle out from your front door. But for this solar eclipse ritual, you cannot do that.
You have to physically take it away from your home and dispose of it in a public place, an open area where animals might be, like near a garbage dump. The source really stresses that this difference is absolutely crucial. So let's walk through the steps for this second one. You'll buy the meat on February 17th. That same evening, you need to be watching the news, looking for the Ramadan moon sighting. Why? Because the ritual itself, the part where you circle the meat over everyone's heads, has to be done on the night the new moon is confirmed. So that could be the 17th or it could be the 18th. Once you've done that, you take it and dispose of it in that public area we just talked about. And there's one more really important rule here. The person who actually performs this second ritual has to be in a state of ritual purity. Basically, it can't be done by anyone who, for spiritual reasons, wouldn't be able to perform their formal prayers at that time. All right, so we've talked about these physical rituals, but the source material also gives us a powerful spiritual tool to use. It's a specific prayer, and its whole purpose is to call in blessings for wealth and, of course, for security. Here's how you prepare for it. It starts at 11:30 at night. First, you'll perform your complete Isha, the evening prayer. After that, you'll do 2 sets of voluntary prayers, which are called nafil. The first set is like a gift for the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And the second set is a prayer of gratitude, just saying thank you for all the blessings you've already received. Okay, so once you've done those preparation prayers, you get to the heart of the matter. You're going to recite 3 of the divine names, and you'll do it 1,100 times. They are Ya Khaliqo, which means the creator, Ya Meliko, the sovereign, and Ya Razako, the provider. And after you've completed that recitation, you finish with a final prayer, a supplication. This quote really gets to the heart of it. You're basically asking Allah to make this new month one of peace, safety, faith, and wealth. It's all about turning those potential dangers we talked about into blessings. So, there you have it. We've looked at the dangers the source predicts, and we've gone through the very specific steps it recommends to protect yourself. And this brings us to the end, really, your path through February, which, according to this, has 2 very, very different outcomes. And this really lays out the choice, doesn't it? On one hand, the source suggests that if you follow this guidance, you could actually flip the script on this entire month, turn it from something dangerous into a time of incredible blessings and prosperity. But on the other hand, if you ignore it, well, the warnings are pretty direct. Financial losses, problems with your business, and just an increase in all that negative stuff. So after breaking down this entire forecast, the warnings, the rituals, the prayers, we're left with this final question. It's really something to think about, isn't it? Will you take these steps to try and navigate what's ahead? Ultimately, the path you take is up to you.